what we are seeing, condo and townhome versus single family home. I think this is an important thing for us to discuss because I think it is likely occurring in most of the country. Let's talk about a brand new economic term called the immaculate disinflation. What the heck is that? We can talk about oil being at a 52-week high. We can talk about 4 scary things to watch in September. And of course, we have some earnings that we will dig into. Folks, this is the daily financial news for Thursday. I want to first thank each and every one of you who replied to Ken McElroy's video yesterday. All of you are awesome. Turns out he doesn't put up the full video on YouTube because I guess it doesn't perform well. But what he does do is he puts it up on Spotify. So if you'd like to watch or at least listen to the entire interview with myself, Ken, and Daniil, it is available. It is just not available on YouTube. It is available on Spotify. And if you go to yesterday's 8-minute video, Ken's team was nice enough to put the link inside a pinned tweet, or not tweet, in a pinned comment. So it is there for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. Totally blew me away with everybody asking him to release that. So thank you very much. Let's dig into Las Vegas real estate. I will be talking with Brian Lebo hopefully later this week, but it looks like early indications of Las Vegas real estate are as follows. Condo and townhomes versus single family homes are acting very different. What do I mean by that? It looks like condos and townhomes have set a record high for, hi Sonny. 1 second folks, my puppy wants up. Come here. People are watching, come on. I don't know if you guys can hear him whine, but there he is. So again, back to Las Vegas real estate. Condos and townhomes set a record high. Yes, in August, it was a record high of $287,000. That is $2,000 higher than last May, which was the previous record. Okay, well, great. That's happening with condos and townhomes. What is happening with single family homes? Well, they fell. They fell $5,000. They are now, or no, fell $2,500, my mistake, $2,500. And they fell to $447,435. So why might this happen? Well, I think it's about the price. If you look at a condo, again, the median price is $287. A single family standalone home is $447. When we have high rates over 7%, what we are seeing is demand moves down. Not moves down, well, clearly it moves down in transactions. We've talked about that for a while. But there is something called switching. If you can't afford a home, you buy a condo, a townhome. And at least in Las Vegas, they're about $200,000 less than each other. It's about $160,000 to be more accurate, $160,000. That is significant. That is a significant payment change. So what do we do with this information? If you are in a market and it is very competitive and single family homes are getting away from the average person, look to condos, look to townhomes. Is there a marketable difference in price points? And I'm going to guess in most markets the answer is yes. So when you hear somebody talk about new home construction prices falling, always remember, think about the mix. What is the mix of the asset being sold? Are people moving from homes to condos and townhomes? I think for a lot of folks, especially first-time home buyers, like, I want to get in the property ladder, I need to get in the property ladder. Honey, we can't afford a home today. Let's get a condo. Let's get a townhome. So again, historically speaking, what happens in Vegas first, and then it happens across the country. So folks, let me know what you are seeing out there. And I just realized something. I'm getting used to this new studio. I didn't even turn on my purple lights. What's up? Let's try to do that while we're going here. Oh, look at that. I feel better. So again, do yourself a favor. Look at your buy box. See what's going on. Condos versus new home constructions. Something we have to watch, folks, is oil. I think oil ticked up to 90 bucks or almost $90. The question I have, and something you and I haven't talked about in 6 months probably, is if you don't remember, we released a lot of oil from what's called the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. There has been some talk of refilling it, but I don't believe it has occurred, and if it has occurred, it hasn't occurred in great quantity. So, will the government become competition? Will they be absorbing supply as prices rise? This is something we have to think about. And again, if you've already released the oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve and we spike to $100, you really can't pull that trick twice because the oil's just not there. So something we need to watch for. Let's talk about 4 scary things that we should be watching in September. I'm not saying over-index or over-rotate, but let's just watch these together. First, student debt repayments. Right? Interest has started to accrue. I believe the first payment is due October 1st. I think it would be foolish for all of us to assume that will have no impact on the economy. We saw some early numbers. I think I talked about it last week where about $6 billion already went to student debt. The important part about that $6 billion is it would have likely been spent on something else. My guess is not a lot of that $6 billion would have been allocated to savings. It would have been allocated to spending. Even if you assumed 50%. Let's assume 50% of folks were socking away their student debt payments, which you and I both know is not happening. But let's just assume. That's $3 billion not in the economy circulating. So, this is something we need to watch. It will impact parts of the economy. I think some are obvious, others are going to be a surprise. Number 2, we obviously have a Hollywood strike. I think it's going on 100 days or something of that nature. I think there is a more meaningful strike that is barreling down our economy. It occurs on the 14th or 15th of September. And that, of course, is the UAW strike. I believe if articles are correct, they're looking at a 40% pay raise. They're looking at taking hours worked from 40 to 32. These are significant requests that I imagine a strike will be required to get management to the table. Now, if the articles are correct, they have about $800 billion in a strike fund. They can go quite a while with this. So it seems pretty likely that a strike is going to occur. The question I have is, given the economy, will the President of the United States step in and ask for some mediation or a pause or a delay? Biden is very pro-union. I don't think that is a secret. So will Biden come in on the side of the union workers and push for a strike? Will he come in and push for mediation? We're going to know very soon. This is like a week away. So this is something we need to watch. The UAW strike, if it were to occur, would really show up in the numbers within 30 days. So this is something we need to watch. Then I think the scariest one, and frankly, the most nonsense, the most self-inflicted, the most frustrating one for me, is we're going to hear more and more about a government shutdown. Both sides of the aisle can agree. Lots of name calling, lots of, frankly, grade school behavior going on. But as Fitch said, we have essentially a dysfunctional government that can't get things done. And if that's true, if they can't come to some stopgap agreement called a continuing resolution, we will have a shutdown at the end of the month. And then finally, there will be a Fed meeting. Will it be the hawkish pause that I think? Will it be a dovish raise? Don't know. But there is a lot going on in the economy, stuff to watch. It is interesting. I got some more data on Goldman Sachs recession call. I think we talked about it earlier in the week in passing that they have lowered their recession odds to 15%. I didn't realize just in March they were as high as 35%. Now, just to be clear, Goldman Sachs recession call of 15% is over the next 12 months. So what Goldman Sachs is saying is they don't see a recession through the end of Q3 2024. And of course, I think GDP now is still talking about a 5+% GDP in Q3. So really a lot of stuff to watch for. Lastly, there were some earnings that I talked about over the weekend that I'd be watching. One was Dave & Buster's. Dave & Buster's, obviously a place where families go to throw birthday parties and all of that. They missed top line, missed bottom line. Their same store sales were down year on year. Again, is this like Southwest Airlines? Remember Southwest Airlines yesterday said August bookings were at the low range, AKA a disappointment? Are we starting to see the consumer pull back? Is this an example of student loan payments coming due? I don't know, but we need to watch out for that. Then there was C3 AI that I wanted to look at just because of all the AI craziness going on out there, and they had larger than expected losses. So again, maybe some of the froth is coming off the AI market. And then finally, unemployment claims. Unemployment claims for the week came down again. 216,000. Expectations were 234. The job market is still strong. And folks, if you're looking at my hat here, this is a Luke Bryant hat. Olivia and I are starting to enjoy Vegas. We went to a last-minute Luke Bryant concert, and yes, I am foolish enough to pay for an autographed hat. How cool is that? So if you haven't seen Luke Bryant in concert, I recommend it. He's a lot of fun. Again, we're talking about going to, what's her name? Lady Gaga. We might go to Lady Gaga tonight. So why not? We're here. Let's enjoy it. Folks, take care of yourself. Have an amazing day. Thanks once again for all the comments on Ken McElroy's video yesterday. I do think it's a shame that it's not on YouTube, but it is available. It is available on his podcast on Spotify. And one more time, I want to thank Jen, one of the followers of the channel, for really working with Ken and Ken's team to make that happen. Jen, thank you very much. It was a true pleasure opportunity that I did not think we would ever have. But yes, folks, one rental at a time made it to the one and great Ken McElroy's channel. So thank you all for that. Folks, you have an amazing day. Keep being awesome. Keep doing the work. We'll talk later. Bye.